Hello everyone. Thank you all for joining. In today's session, Priyanka and I will be going through the NoCode LowCode Advanced Analytics, and we will show how that can be applied into real-world scenarios. And we've taken the financial sector as an example. So my name is Salma Ramoun, and I am a consultant I'm a ProServe consultant with AWS, and I've been with the team now since almost 2 years, and I'm specialized within the data analytics and data engineering field. And today will be joining me my dear colleague Priyanka. Priyanka, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Salma. Hi, everyone. I'm Priyanka Bettaswamy Gowda. I'm a solutions architect with AWS, and I've been with AWS for over 3 years now. And I'm also a data and analytics specialist with my core area of focus being QuickSight, and that's why I'm here today. Thank you.
Perfect. So in today's session, we will be covering these main points. So I'll be going through the context and the challenges that we are trying to overcome. And then I'll give a quick overview on the tools and services that we will use to overcome those challenges, which are the NoCode, the SageMaker Canvas, and quick overview on Amazon Q and QuickSight. And then I'll mention the benefits of using the NoCode LowCode environments, and then we'll dive straight deep into the architecture that we'll be using, and then I'll give it to Priyanka for the hands-on demo and takeaways. So to start with, let's say we have Amy. Amy is a credit risk analyst working at a bank. She has at her disposal all customer loans, the current and previous ones, and she needs to analyze the status of the loans. And what she needs to do specifically is to understand whether the current, how the current loans will end up. Would those customers be able to pay their loans or default their payments? So, in a regular situation, what Amy would do is go raise this to the BI team, and then the BI team will kindly acknowledge that and ask her to raise a ticket. And then when they look into it and they see that this is a prediction problem and it will require extensive machine learning algorithms, they will come back to her and say it will take some time, and they give her an estimation. So what would Maddie do now is she finds herself in an obligation of waiting for the response or just guessing what would those loans end up with. So the real question, the real challenge that we're trying to overcome today is how can we get our business to their answers quickly and get them to use machine learning and advanced AI capabilities without going through the technicality of it and without having that extensive understanding of coding. So that is the aim for today. And in order to achieve that, we'll be using mainly this tool, which is Amazon SageMaker Canvas. So Amazon SageMaker Canvas is a no-code environment for business users that enables them to build and deploy machine learning and generative AI models. It offers ready-to-use foundation models and end-to-end model building capabilities that helps you to prepare your data and train them and train your models accordingly. It also enables you to share your results and share your models and collaborate with your teams as it integrates with multiple other services. One other thing and one other area to cover as well that we'll be using today is Amazon Q and QuickSight, and this shows how AI is leveraging the dashboarding experience as it enables authors now to to use natural language to build their visuals, and it also assists the readers when they create presentations and PowerPoints about their underlying data, and also helps them understand their current dataset by just interacting with it on Q&A demands. So the key question here is like, what are the benefits of using no-code, low-code environments such as Amazon SageMaker Canvas? So it gives you a ready-to-use Gen AI application in your hand that enables you to use many foundational models that are available, and it's really cost effective because you don't have to manage any instances in the background, you don't have to do any heavy lifting, you just pay for what you use. And also it enables you to automate your data preparation for building your models, and it can also integrate with multiple other services. And the example that we'll take in today is we're going to show how Amazon SageMaker integrates smoothly with QuickSight. So that was the introduction, and now we can go back to Amy's situation, and now we can see how Amy can take it forward using this new low-code, no-code approach. So having the data in Amazon S3 as our starting point, and this is just to simplify the architecture. The starting point can be any other database or data lake that your organization have. But for Amy's situation, let's say she has access to Amazon S3 where she has the loans, the customer loans data. Now she was able to see the loans in the dashboard in QuickSight, and now she wants to see the predicted loans. In this case, what would Amy do is she will load the fully paid and defaulted loans historical file into Amazon SageMaker Canvas so that she can create the data model that enables her to predict the current loans. So what she'll do is train the model based on the existing and previous historical loan stages, and then based on those behaviors, the model will be able to understand how would the current loans behave in the future. So she would create that data model and would create that predicted field for her, and then she will be able to share it in QuickSight. And then after taking it to QuickSight, she'll use that field as she use all the other fields and create her analysis and understands what will be the behavior of the current customers. So without any further ado, I will let my colleague Priyanka now take over and show you how this can be done hands-on.
Right. Now I'll be taking you through a demonstration of the architecture you have just witnessed. And what you're seeing here is my AWS console, and I'm on the SageMaker page. To begin with, I'm going to continue to take the role of Amy, who's a credit risk analyst in a financial institution, and my overarching goal is to identify those customers who might be potentially at a risk of defaulting on outstanding consumer loans. As you saw in the architecture, I would like to start by creating a data set which will be used by my ML model. And here I'm going to start by importing the data. For me, I have got this data stored locally. So let me give a name to my data set. Say it's the customer loans historic. Uh, again, as Salma mentioned, the data can be anywhere. For example, it can be on an S3 bucket or even Redshift, RDS, for example, and even some third-party services such as Snowflake. So for me, it's a CSV file, and I'm going to go ahead and load my data here. It's trying to upload the data, and once the data gets uploaded, it's always a best practice to preview the data. And I've got my data imported now, and let me hit on preview. As you can see here, I've got several columns say I've got the first name, I've got the interest rate, the city, a few other like customer information associated with the loans the customer has taken till now. And for me, the most important column would be the loan status. Right. So as you can see here, I've got the loan status column, which have got unique values that is fully paid and charged off. And it's important to understand that here we are training on loans that have either been fully paid or have got defaulted. So the idea is to predict for open loans and expect like what would be the likely outcome for outstanding or current loans. So I'm going to go ahead and create the data set here. This will take a couple of seconds. So as you can see, it's processing, and once it is ready, I can go ahead and create my machine learning model. This will take just a few seconds. So once we have got this ready, you can either start off by creating a machine learning model. And so now it's been ready. I'm going to choose this particular data set and create a model. So let me give it a name. I'm just going to give it, say, customer loans prediction. And the problem type here is predictive analysis. I'm going to hit on create. So this further brings me to some of the configuration options, and here my target column, that's the first thing to choose. And for me, it's of course the loan status. And as you can see here, it brings back the values of the column. So here again, you can see a snippet of your training data, and I'm going to choose, it's always a good practice to preview the model. I'm going to choose preview the model because this essentially takes like a couple of minutes. And what this really comes back is with an analysis, and it generates feature importance of the data, and also like gives you a preview of which columns actually contribute the most to the prediction. So further customizations that you could do by default when we create the machine learning model, it goes into the automatic configuration. But if you want to like further go ahead and choose your own configuration, you could do so. So here you've got the two category, which is what will be depending on the target column that you choose. And again, here you've got the option of training model and algorithms. So for me, I'm going to go ahead with the auto, but otherwise you could also choose from a collection of algorithms here, as you see on the screen. I'm not going to make any changes, and I'm going to stick to the defaults here. And you could also potentially choose to drop like some of the columns here. So maybe you do not wish to have a column, for example. For me, I'll just choose this last name. So I wish to drop this column because I do not want to wish this to be used by my model for the prediction because it's not of any relevant value. So with this information, you could, now that you've got your data ready, so you could also probably just think of dropping the first name as well. And as you can see here, it gets added into the model recipe. Now you could go ahead and create a model. And on the quick build, you've got two options. One is the quick build, which is again, as the name says, it's really quick. It takes like under 30 minutes approximately. But again, when compared to the standard build option, this is of low accuracy. And I'll have to choose the standard build, which is again of higher accuracy than the quick build, and it typically takes about 2 to 4 hours. And if you have to like share your model with QuickSight later on, it has to be a standard build option. If I can go ahead and create the quick build, but again, in the interest of time, because it typically takes at least an hour or so to get my model ready. So I'm not going to go ahead and click on build. And again, in the interest of time, I've already created the model following the same process. Let me go into the model and let's review it. Again, you can have as many versions as you require. So let's take a few seconds to review this model. And here, as you can see, the model has come back with an accuracy of 71.6%. And down here, you can see the different columns and what has been its impact towards the model prediction. And also this really comes back with a nice scatter plot to understand the relationship between the values in your data and the resulting class. For example, it's fully paid or charged off. For example, again, so there might be a relationship between the interest rate and the ability to fully pay the loan. One other feature which I just wanted to briefly touch here is the predict. So this is where you can do either a single prediction or a batch prediction, and it can be the single prediction is in near real time. So for example, if you want to further apply some filters to your columns. So for example, I want to understand for only say New Jersey. So here you can do some customizations. And the batch prediction, the one use case for the batch prediction is if you want to upload, if you've got new data of loans which are outstanding, and if you want to generate the predictions, you could come over here and upload the file, and you also have the option of sending that to QuickSight. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm more interested to send the whole model to my QuickSight. And how do you do that? I'm going to click on this, send to QuickSight. So once I hit on this, there's a JSON file which will automatically download to your local machine and which will be in the same name as your model. So you could, so if you have more than one version, so that will be popping up here. I have just one, and if I click on send, there's a JSON file which gets downloaded. Now, I've got my model ready, and I'm going to move on to the QuickSight console. So here, the intention in QuickSight is to add that predicted field, which is returned from my ML model, and use that field for generating the data insights. Before I can do this, I need to allow my ML model to be used inside of QuickSight. So for this, I have to go into Manage QuickSight, and under Security and Permissions, I need to have my SageMaker enabled here. I've already got that ticked off, so I'm not going to change anything here. And make sure that you've got the admin permissions to make these changes. So once the access has been granted to SageMaker, let's take a look at the dashboard over here that I've already pre-created. Right, so I've got a really impressive visuals here where I have leveraged Amazon Q and QuickSight to build it for me. And in this visual, in this dashboard, I've got a couple of visuals. So for example, I've got the loan amount by month, and also have tried to forecast the loan amount for say for the next 15 months. And again, I've just tried to split the loan amount by state, and next to this, I've got total loan amount by purpose. So with this, I can get an understanding of what's the split based on the purpose of the loan. Further down, I would like to draw your attention to this particular visual, which is a simple table. So the idea in this visual, as you can see here, I've got the loan status as current, and the data set that I've used to build this dashboard has information about open loans. So the idea is to learn from the prior or the historical loans and estimate the outcome for all the loans that are presently current. So current in this context represents an open or an active loan. So basically, I have no understanding if these loans will be paid off or will they be defaulted. So I certainly, being a credit risk analyst, I certainly want to take a decision which can help my financial institution to avoid any liabilities and also to help myself to avoid manual work of digging through the data to do my own analysis, as this can be time consuming and at the same time I may not have the relevant technical skills to achieve my outcomes. So what I do is I start by importing the ML model into QuickSight so that I can enhance my dashboard to take actionable insights on the current active loans. So this has to be done at the data set level. So I'm going to go into the analysis which I built, the same analysis where you have seen the dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead here and manage the data set. I'm going to edit the data set here. So once you've got a data set, you've got this option in QuickSight where you could go ahead and add a predictor field. And here you'll have to choose the model, and I'm going to choose the model, the V1 version, that is 58884, which I had previously built. And I'm going to upload the schema, which is basically my JSON file. Once this has been done, the next step, it just gives you the relative mappings of your field in the schema and to the fields in your data set. As you can see here, these are basically the columns of my data. We're going to hit next. I'm going to choose a name here. So this is going to be predicted loan status. And I'm going to prepare the data now. So this, as you can see here, the field has been added. And if I scroll to the last, you can see the predicted loan status is one of the field values within the data set. I'm going to go ahead and publish and visualize. So this starts importing and it essentially takes like say about 10 minutes for this inference to run, and that's the reason you're seeing there's no data, because there's inference which is happening in the background. And again, in the interest of time, I've already like created a dashboard analysis, so where I've already imported the predicted field. So it's the same analysis, but as you can see here, the predicted loan status has already been added into this analysis. So now, so let me refresh so that I can get the Q icon here at the top. Right. So now let's see what this predicted loan status holds for us. Say, for example, I want to understand here what's the number of loans by predicted loan status, and let's see what Q comes back with. Okay, so as you can see here, it shows me the total loan amount by the predicted field, and here I've got about 7.7 million of loans which will be fully paid, and again 3.5 will be charged off. So this information is really useful for me, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to the analysis. Now going back to the table which I showed you earlier, here it is. So as you can see, this is the table, the same table which you saw earlier. And what I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and add the predicted loan status. So for all the loan status which is current, I'm going to go ahead and add the predicted loan status. So I'm going to use Q for this again, edit with Q, and let's see, add predicted loan status. Right, so As you can see here, the project and loan status has been added, and for all these loans, it will be currently charged off. And again, for these loans, for example, the credit card, the debt consolidation. So for this, it will be fully paid. So as a credit risk analyst, so this insight is more valuable for me as with these predictions for open loans, I can better estimate the outcomes.